Hey everybody, what's up? Today we are back in the garden, obviously. Where else would we be? And we're going to talk about how to grow Shirley poppies. Now, I am not a Shirley poppy expert, so I already showed y'all how not to grow Shirley poppies, but somebody wanted to see this, so. First and foremost, there's a lot of different types of poppies. There are some perennial poppies and biennial poppies technically. And obviously the ones that we're talking about today are Shirley poppies, which are hardy annuals. If you don't know, hardy annual just means that it is an annual plant. It blooms once and it can take a lot more cold and frost than what you would expect of a normal plant. As always, some are just more hardy than others, and it comes down to what does well in your garden and what will and will not survive. It's always going to be different for you than what goes on in my garden. It's just that's how it is. Once you figure out when to finally plant these things, growing them is pretty easy, and pretty much all you do is prepare your bed, sow the seed, and walk away. At least that's how I go about it. Growing poppies can be kind of frustrating if you live somewhere like me that gets really hot in the summer and there's not really much of a cool period in the spring. I've tried sowing poppies in the wintertime. I read one website that said go out and throw the seeds on the snow. That didn't work for me. Maybe it'll work for you, I don't know. I've planted poppies according to the package that says to go out and plant them in the spring as soon as the soil can be worked. I've done that and it worked a little bit better. I got some flowers, but it really wasn't exactly what I wanted. So the final option for me was to go ahead and work my soil and to direct sow the seeds in the fall. I do it around the end of September here in zone 6B, 7-ish, depending on the weather. The seeds germinate. They spend the winter as seedlings, and then in the springtime the growth really kicks up and they bloom. There are some things that I've learned this year. Make sure you have a well-drained area. They do not like soggy areas. Your plants probably won't make it if they are planted somewhere soggy. Also, I planted mine in sand this year, a sandy area, and they didn't like it. Seems to me somewhere a long time ago I read that these need light to germinate. I'm not totally sure on that, so don't quote me, but when I do plant the seeds outside direct sow, all I do is broadcast them and maybe walk on it a little bit. Not even that sometimes, and the germination rate is excellent. You want to make sure that you do thin these out, because one of my major problems this year was that I didn't thin my seedlings out. I had a great germination rate, and all of those seedlings spaced really, really close together meant smaller flowers for me and smaller plants. For the most part, Shirley poppies survive my winter here with no problem. We get lots of frost, obviously, and they've even been snowed on a few times, a few inches of snow. So really that goes back to just trying different things in your garden. If you do live somewhere further north with a lot of snow and a lot of cold, wait until spring is probably going to be your best option. I'm not entirely sure that poppies need a period of vernalization or cold before they'll germinate, but germination does seem to be better when it is a little bit cooler. And actually for me, I've never had them germinate when it's still too warm outside. That makes them a really good candidate for winter sowing in that they like the cold. However, a big negative to this is that they don't really like to be transplanted, so I think it's probably best to go ahead and direct sow these wherever you want them to grow. As with all ornamentals and cut flowers, you want to always make sure that you're doing your research and really knowing what plants and flowers that you're bringing around your kids and your pets and everybody that you love. The thing about ornamental and cut flowers to remember is that a lot of them are toxic, so I just like to be on the cautious side. I hope that this was somehow helpful, and if you have any questions, go ahead and just leave them in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them and we can learn together. Links to all my social media stuff, blog posts, and all that good stuff is down in the description. As always, I hope it's really sunny wherever you are, and I hope you're having a really great day. Bye guys.